are streaming.
It was 2:40 exactly when they ended in Yankee Fisherman on HAN Radio.
Hey, the audio's up, by the way.
The audio is up. Audio.
Because there's nothing, you know what? We have no audio cord in here for the,
No, we don't.
there, that's going to be needed.
Do we need that?
I hope they will. And then just keep.
Good on my end. I'm waiting on you. Here we go.
Hersom Acorn Newspapers, publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in Southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on HANradio.com.
It's Monday, May 11th, and this is your coffee break presented by Stratford Orthodontics. I'm Kate Chaplinsky in the Shelton studio with John Kovach and Donald Ang. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Kate.
Morning, Kate.
Well, we have a lot of news to get to today, including a vehicle that was shot at on Route 25 in Bridgeport yesterday, and Shelton High's prom is causing controversy again. So we're going to get to that and a lot more. But first, Don, what's happening on the roads?
Okay, well, first off, right here in Milford, we have roadwork on the Milford Parkway connector southbound between the Parkway and 95. That going on until 3 o'clock, the left lane closed. Also, there's a section of Franklin Avenue in Hartford shut down due to a gas leak. It's construction-related, occurred in the first block of Franklin Avenue, according to Deputy Police Chief Brian Foley. Police, fire, and natural gas workers are on the scene. We've got roadwork in Fairfield 95 North at exit 24 until noon with the right lane closed. And finally, Parkway South at exit 40B in Norwalk until 3, the right lane closed there also. Moving into the weather, partly sunny day today, high near 85. Tonight, patchy fog after midnight, otherwise mostly cloudy, down to around 64. Tomorrow, chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly later on in the afternoon, about 80. And cooling off for Wednesday, clear and highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it is 74 degrees outside our Fairfield. Outside our Shelton studio, 67 in Fairfield, 74 in Ridgefield. Coffee break time, 11:02.
Thanks, Don. Sticking with the roads, this is something that's going to be a traffic alert that's going to be ongoing for a while. Work began this week on replacing the bridge over the Saugatuck River on Godfrey Road West. This in the Weston, Georgetown area. Cars traveling east from Georgetown Road, Route 57, must turn right onto Old Orchard Drive, then onto Michael's Way to get to Newtown Turnpike, which is Route 53. This detour, which you can see on our live stream, is expected to be in place for 10 weeks.
I suppose it wouldn't do any good to pray that it speeds up, would it?
No.
On Godfrey Road?
It's not spelled that way.
It's Godfrey Road, Kate.
Spelled like Arthur.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's why it didn't occur to me.
Not like free as in less. Nice try.
All right, thanks, John. Well, in other news, state police are asking the public for help finding the person who shot at a vehicle on Route 25 North near Exit 2 early Sunday. State police received a report around 1:30 Sunday morning that a 2015 Toyota Corolla was shot at. The driver did not see any flashes from a firearm, but police say they believe the gunshots came from a white four-door sedan, unknown make and model. Troopers were able to confirm that the Corolla had been struck by multiple projectiles. About 5 minutes later, Bridgeport police received a report of gunshots in the area of Ellsworth Street and Fairfield Avenue. State police say it is unknown if the incidents are related. Anyone who locates a silver Toyota hubcap or one 2-inch by 3-inch passenger side mirror, black trim plate, or has any information regarding this incident is asked to contact state police in Bridgeport at 203-696-2500. They say all calls will be kept confidential.
Violence in a Bridgeport neighborhood this weekend left a 22-year-old father with another baby on the way dead from gunshot wounds. This marks the second homicide in a row on a weekend in Bridgeport. Javante Tinsley, 22 years old, died at Bridgeport Hospital after being shot around 9 Saturday evening by an occupant of a car outside a home at 26 Ohio Avenue, according to Bridgeport police. The homicide came only a few feet from an apartment building where Tinsley's 19-year-old girlfriend, Destiny Belito, lives with their 2-year-old son, according to the Connecticut Post. She's pregnant with Tinsley's second child. Belito, on Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day, was sitting on the steps of her apartment building near a makeshift memorial consisting of candles and flowers. Last Sunday morning, 2 brothers were wounded and 1 killed during an altercation with a man who lived on Ogden Street in Bridgeport. Efrain Rivera of Bridgeport was charged with the murder of 34-year-old Miguel Martinez, also of Bridgeport. Tinsley's death, the city's 5th homicide of the year.
Thanks, John. Well, a teacher accused of sexually assaulting a Trumbull teenager is scheduled to enter a plea in the case this Wednesday, May 13th. Timothy T.J. Leonard, an English teacher at Wilton's Middlebrook School, is charged with 4th-degree sexual assault and risk of injury to a child. He will enter his plea at Bridgeport Superior Court. Risk of injury to a child is a Class C felony, and 4th-degree sexual assault is a Class A misdemeanor. The charges stem from Tuesday, February 10th, when Leonard was found by Trumbull police with a 14-year-old boy in a black Jeep Cherokee parked in a secluded area on Quarry Road in Trumbull around 7:30 at night. Police said during the course of speaking to the pair, it was determined they had engaged in intimate contact while parked in the vehicle. Leonard told police he had met the teen on an online dating app and that he likes college-aged boys, stating, "That's my thing." He denied knowing the victim was 14 and said he would not have gotten involved with him if he had known his age. The teacher has been suspended with pay from Wilton schools pending an investigation, according to Wilton Superintendent Kevin Smith. Bridgeport Superior Court is at Main Street in Bridgeport, and we'll bring you updates on that story.
Another year, Kate, another controversy surrounding Shelton High School's prom. Students at Shelton High were set to start circulating a petition today to stop what they call last-minute changes to the prom's dress code that would bar them from wearing dresses they've already purchased. Shelton High School headmaster Dr. Beth Smith announced Friday that dresses with slits, cutouts, or backless styles would not be allowed at this weekend's prom. Students and parents argue that the move comes too late because they've already spent the money on dresses with only a few days to go until prom. About a half dozen girls have already been told that they won't be allowed to wear their dresses to prom. School leaders say the announcement was simply a reminder of a long-standing policy. Students said the guidelines are new to them.
Now, I do have to say, I mean, some prom dresses, they get a little racy nowadays, but all the things that are on here are very in style right now, and some of these girls spend like hundreds of dollars on these dresses, so why wouldn't this be something you remind people of at the beginning of the year?
In January.
The senior, it just seems so silly.
Yeah, do it in January, because if somebody came up, if a student approached administration with some major prom change at this late hour, they'd be told, why didn't you mention this before? But now a week before the prom, we're going to say you can't wear dresses you've already bought. Right.
This is somehow news to the administration that teenage girls sometimes like to wear racy dresses to the prom.
Racy dresses, yeah, backless. I mean, all those things. It's just
and
seems
they are all
silly.
in style.
Shocked.
Right. Yeah. Well, thanks, John. In other news, although there were more no votes cast in the budget vote, Wilton's budget will still pass because of a low voter turnout. The final results were 602 approving the budget, 679 voting that it was too high, and 9 saying it was too low. There are 11,278 eligible voters in Wilton. Of those, 1,294 cast ballots, which is a turnout of about 11.5%. In Wilton, the budget passes automatically if the turnout is below 15%. All 3 capital bonding items passed on a straight up or down vote. Those included fire station improvements, repaving Wilton High School and the Middlebrook School lots, HVAC replacement at Middlebrook. The combined school and education budget for fiscal year 2016 is $124.2 million, $32 million municipal budget, and an $80 million schools budget. So interesting there.
That's democracy in action.
Yes.
I mean, the remarkable thing about that, in my opinion, is that it puts town and school officials in this remarkable situation where they essentially should run a suppress the vote campaign
Right.
to make sure that their vote,
Yes.
make sure that their
It
budget
is.
passes.
It's very unique. It's unusual. What else is going on, John?
You'll like this because you love the wild animal stories.
I do.
More bear sightings reported throughout Shelton Sunday night, according to the Shelton Trails and Conservation Facebook page. Among the bears spotted were a mother with a cub on Isinglass Road, and officials say this is a game changer because it means it's no longer just the occasional young male wandering through town, which they say has been happening for years. It now appears there's a breeding population of black bears in the town of Shelton. Another bear was reported Sunday night in Stratford near exit 11 off Route 8. Beaver Dam Lake, the Shelton bear everyone's been following, was seen on Long Hill Avenue again Sunday morning near the Board of Ed offices, eating a bird feeder. So I wouldn't leave any food or trash out in Shelton.
No.
And if they have a breeding population,
I was gonna say, they're settling.
welcome to the neighborhood. They've moved in.
Yeah, this is now an occupation.
Yeah, they've been very active. Well, another bear sighting was reported on Valley Road in New Canaan early Sunday. Photos from a trail camera were sent to the New Canaan Advertiser by Will Santora, a 15-year-old New Canaan high school student who set up the trail camera near his bird feeder to get photos of the bear. Will has interned with the New Canaan Land Trust. The Santoras estimate the bear was about 30 feet away from their house when the photos were taken. The size of the bear was estimated as 3 feet high and 4 feet long. Will Santora said he left a couple of messages with New Canaan Animal Control, but had not heard back. So, interesting. The bears are everywhere
Are they
now.
backlogged on the bear calls?
Well, in
There's not
Shelton
much
they
can
are.
do. In Shelton, the police have been coming to a lot of those bear sightings because they've been so close to buildings. So, interesting.
Well, it's 11:11. Let's take another look at the roads with Don.
Okay, just in a few minutes, the last few minutes, the DOT has reported road work now in Fairfield, 95 south, a little bit before exit 20. Lane closed there until for the next couple of hours. Also in Milford, 95 south at exit 40 until 3 o'clock. The left shoulder closed, and also in Milford on the connector between the Parkway and 95. Lane closed there southbound. Checking the weather. Partly sunny today, 85 degrees for the high. Patchy fog after midnight tonight, otherwise cloudy, low 64. Tomorrow, chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after 3 o'clock, 80 degrees for the high. And cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, clear with highs in the mid-60s. Right now, outside our Shelton studio, it is cloudy and 75, 67 and cloudy on the coast in Fairfield, 75 in Ridgefield. Coffee break time is 11:12.
Thanks, Don. And, well, we have the floor. Why don't we take a look back at what happened on this day in history?
Okay, well, we start off in this day in history, 330 A.D. The small town of Byzantium, renamed Nova Roma during a dedication ceremony. It's more commonly referred to as Constantinople. Amazingly, the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, would persist until 1453. 1918, the gloriously named and very short-lived Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus officially established. That's their parliament there. Within 3 years, they would be annexed into the newly formed Soviet Union.
Those are
I like
awesome.
that style.
Aren't they
Yeah.
great?
I like these guys.
Yeah.
1960, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, 4 Israeli Mossad agents capture fugitive Nazi Adolf Eichmann, living under the alias Ricardo Clement. He was later convicted of war crimes and hanged in Jerusalem. According to the Israeli soldiers standing closest to him, his last words as he mounted the gallows were, "I hope all of you follow me." 1967, the siege of Kherson ends. 1997, Garry Kasparov, world champion, loses his first ever multi-game match to IBM chess computer Deep Blue. It was the first time a computer had ever beaten a world championship player. And finally, 1934, I have a feeling we're in Kansas. There was this.
On the distant horizon appears the rolling curtain of dirt that will soon blot out all visibility. Clouds of powdery fine dust that penetrate the smallest crevices, make breathing difficult, eyes sore, and spoils food within homes as fast as it is exposed. Anything that broke the force of the wind soon became buried. Fences and ditches were leveled with blow dirt. Within homes, a loose-fitting window would soon have a dust pile reaching from the floor to its ledge. Travel became so hazardous in the restricted visibility that highways were closed and those caught out on foot were forced to follow fence lines to a haven of safety. It was not uncommon to become hopelessly lost within the confines of one's own field. It was carried on with the utmost difficulty. Masks that had been improvised locally.
1934, a severe 2-day wind and dust storm stripped the topsoil from the Great Plains of the U.S., creating a dust bowl. That storm was the first of many in 1934, combined with the Great Depression, a terrible time to be in the Midwest. That's your look back in history. Coffee break time is 11:15.
All right, thanks, Don. Well, we are going to take a break, come back with a lot more news, as well as Rob Adams giving us an update on high school sports. So that's coming up after this.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
Spring is finally in the air and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332, and online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to your coffee break presented by Stratford Orthodontics on HANradio.com. John Kovach, Donald Egg, Kate Czaplinski this morning, joined now by Rob Adams with a look at sports. And we started the weekend almost a perfect start.
Almost.
I
will get to that.
Yes, you will.
Thanks for that setup, though. That was a softball.
He teed it up.
Yes, it was.
He really did. Thank you, John. Thank you, Don. Kate, good morning, everyone. Getting hits from 9 players and another solid performance on the mound from Carter Henry. The John Jay baseball team recorded its 9th win in 11 games on Saturday, routing Beacon 16-5 at home in the annual Jay Fest game. The Indians are now 10-7 on the year, and they also saw Jack Weller collect his 100th career hit in dramatic fashion, a solo homer in the bottom of the third to put the Indians up 5-3. Massacai's baseball team stretched its winning streak to 7 games with a 6-1 victory over Southwest Conference rival Stratford at Penders Field on Friday night. The Panthers improved to 10-5, and the Red Devils fell to 7-7. Massac pitcher Cameron Kovacic struck out 10 batters in a complete game effort. On Friday, on HANradio.com, St. Joe's beat Trumbull in softball 7-1. But the story was Nicole Williams, who flirted with a perfect game.
She has struck out 10 through 6 and has not allowed a base runner. To the 7th we go. Katskowitz is 0 for 2, grounded to second and flied to left. First pitch of the 7th inning. Bounce to the right side and through for a base hit. And that's the first hit.
And there you go. She finished with a complete game 2-hitter. She struck out 12. I mean, an absolutely brilliant performance. But Harley Katskowitz broke up all the drama. And let me tell you, from a broadcasting perspective, and we can talk about this more on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock today, we had it all set for the first perfect game in HAN radio history. We were all excited.
We had it all figured
the
out.
tweets were ready. The celebratory shots were lined up. John and I are working it out in the booth. Let me make the call, take a moment, then jump in with the announce. We were all set, but sometimes fate just doesn't smile on you.
It was a clean hit. I mean,
it was clean. Both hits were clean.
That ground
yeah,
ball.
both hits were clean, in fact. It's taken nearly a year as we switch over to lacrosse, but the New Canaan Rams helped put some of last season's heartbreak to rest with a dramatic 9-8 victory over Darien before a boisterous crowd at Dunning Field on Saturday. The result ended the Waves' 34-game winning streak that dated back to 2013. The Foreign High boys lacrosse team defeated Stratford High 10-6 on Saturday. Sal Rosa and David McLenathan each scored 3 goals, as the Lions even their record at 6-6. With its vaunted defense turning in another stifling effort, the Staples boys lacrosse team defeated Wilton 7-4 in Westport on Saturday. The Wreckers scored the game's first 5 goals and held Wilton scoreless until Jared Goldstein got a goal with under a minute left in the opening half. New Canaan opened up a big lead right here on HANradio.com on Saturday. 6 straight goals late in the first half and early in the second, and rolled to an 11-4 victory over visiting Longmeadow from Massachusetts. New Canaan received a 5-goal effort from junior Sammy Stewart, who closed with 3 straight scores to ice the victory. The Ridgefield High girls lacrosse team got its second win in 2 days, beating host Newtown 12-9 in a non-conference game. The Tigers are 8-4 on the year and had beaten Stamford 13-8 on Friday in Stamford to end a 3-game losing streak. Massacai girls lacrosse team improved its record to 6-6 on the year after defeating Sheehan High 13-6 in Wallingford on Saturday. Maureen Murphy led all scorers with 5 goals. Junior Kelly O'Meara added 3. Benell High defeated Holy Cross of Waterbury 22-11 in girls lax on Saturday. Ryan Newell and Abby Bosiek each scored 5 goals for the Lady Bulldogs. Trumbull stopped St. Joe's 14-10, and senior Allie Mayers of Pleasantville scored 7 goals to help the Harvey School defeat Worcester 17-6 and end the regular season at 10-0. Boys track and field. Several members of the John Jay track and field team competed at the 48th annual Glen D. Laux Games last week at White Plains High School. Of the top competitors of the 3-day meet, going Thursday through Saturday, featured more than 3,000 athletes from the Northeast. Eon Newilly had the best finish for John Jay, taking second in the boys' 3,000-meter steeplechase in a time of 9:33.66. Couple of other notes for you as we wrap up. Jennifer St. Jean was the winner of the 8th annual Run Like a Mother 5K race on Saturday morning in Ridgefield. The Darien resident finished first overall in a time of 18 minutes, 31.55 seconds for the 3.1-mile course. And a semi-personal note to finish up here. Eric Galante, a graduate of Staples High School and a senior at Sarah Syracuse University and a young man I've gotten to know, has been named the 2015 winner of the Jim Nance Award as the nation's most outstanding collegiate sportscaster from the website STAA, that's Sportscasters Talent Association of America. Galante is the second straight Syracuse winner, or student rather, to win the honor. Kevin Fitzgerald, who is another young broadcaster I know, not from the area, but proud to call him a friend, won the title in 2014. So pretty cool. A couple of local, well, certainly in Eric's case, a local guy, and, DJ Sixsmith, another guy he worked with down at Staples High on WWPT, just recently won the Marty Glickman Award from Fordham University. You're talking prestigious awards here, John. So very proud of these young sportscasters for what they're achieving. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Coffee break time, 11:24.
Thanks, Rob. Off the field news, Ridgefield High School football coach Kevin Callahan's arrest in Fairfield May 3rd for driving under the influence, texting, and other violations was not his first brush with the law, it appears. A check of court records showed that Callahan, 52 years old, who is also dean of students at Ridgefield High School and lead teacher of the Ridgefield High School Physical Education Department, was ticketed in Trumbull in December for passing a school bus that had pulled over and activated its stop warnings. Callahan, who lives on Cherry Hill Road in Trumbull, pleaded not guilty to that infraction in Trumbull. He is scheduled to appear at State Superior Court in Bridgeport on that matter July 9th. His latest brush with the law resulted in him being charged with driving under the influence, operating a motor vehicle while operating a handheld device, failure to drive right, and failure to carry an insurance card. Callahan was allegedly driving west on Fairfield Wood Road in his hometown of Fairfield. After going through the Stilson Road intersection, police say he hit a traffic sign, continued on, then struck a tree. He allegedly told officers he was looking at an incoming text message. Officers reportedly noticed the odor of alcoholic beverages and said they found a half-empty bottle of vodka in the vehicle. Callahan was taken to the hospital but refused to have blood drawn or toxicology test run, according to police. Callahan was released on a promise to appear in State Superior Court in Bridgeport May 18th on the Fairfield charges. He has not returned a call from the Ridgefield Press seeking comment. Ridgefield Superintendent of Schools Deborah Lowe said in a May 6th statement that Callahan had been placed on administrative leave without prejudice pending administrative review. Coffee break times 11:25.
Just a little legal note here. I don't know if people are aware of it. Refusing to take a toxicology test does result in an automatic suspension of a driver's license in Connecticut.
Yes, it does.
Thanks, Don. Well, in some disturbing news out of New Britain, a total of 7 bodies were found behind a shopping plaza in New Britain, according to police. The police department said it is planning a news conference for this afternoon to discuss the details. Police said they will release significant information related to the serial murder investigation behind 593 Hartford Road. WFSB reports that investigators originally said they found more skeletal remains April 28th behind the plaza. Police sources now confirm that in addition to the 3 bodies found 8 years ago, 4 more were unearthed. The partial remains of 53-year-old Diane Cusack, 23-year-old Joyveline Martinez, and 40-year-old Mary Jane Menard were identified as the first 3 victims. Police believe one person killed the women in 2003. Police have not said whether the 4 recently discovered remains are connected to the first 3 victims. They're also offering a $150,000 reward for information leading to a conviction. The news conference is scheduled today at the New Britain Police Department at 4 o'clock. John.
Thanks, Kate. In breaking political news out of Darien, Joe Michelli, who served as a Republican selectman in Darien, plans to run for first selectman this fall, he told the Darien Times this morning. Current first selectman Jamie Stevenson, also a Republican, who would be entering her 4th term on the board, her 3rd as first selectman, if she were to run and win in the fall, has not indicated whether she will pursue re-election. Michelli said he has requested an interview from the Republican Town Committee, but intends to run regardless of receiving support from the RTC. Michelli operates Middlesex Dental Group in Darien with 2 other dentists, and he said he made the final decision after consulting with his wife and daughters over Mother's Day weekend. Michelli served on the Board of Selectmen for 14 years under 3 different first selectmen until 2005. related news, current Republican Town Committee Chairman Jim Palin said he has not yet seen Michelli's request, but confirmed to the Darien Times that he will resign. He will step down as chairman of the Republican Town Committee in Darien, but remain on the committee as a member. And he confirmed to the Times that Darien RTC Vice Chairman John Bolton will be resigning from the committee when it meets Wednesday night. You can follow this story at DarienTimes.com.
Thanks, John. Well, a sign of summer in New Canaan has been the pop-up park at the intersection of South Avenue and Elm Street in the Village, but at least one local merchant says the park is bad for business. Sally Kaltman, owner of Salea Antiques at 66 Elm Street, told the New Canaan Advertiser Friday that the pop-up park has been and will continue to be a horrible idea, one that is hurting, not helping local merchants. Kaltman said most supported her position that not only does the pop-up park not help business, but in many cases hurts it. Kaltman was also upset that the pop-up park, which has been a weekends-only event, is now being considered for everyday status during the summer, partly to avoid having to build it and take it down so often. There is more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. We're coming up on 11:30. Don, another look at the roads?
Okay, we have traffic backing up at Fairfield, I-95 South at exit 20. There is road work there until 3 o'clock. The right lane closed. Also in Milford, two different locations. 95 South at the Woodmont Road exit. That's exit 40. In effect today until 3. The shoulder closed. Not really affecting traffic right now. But there is also traffic on the connector between the Parkway and 95. Road work there southbound until 3 o'clock, the left lane closed. And finally, Fairfield 95 North at exit 24 until noon, the right lane closed. Checking the weather, partly sunny day today, 85 degrees for the high. Patchy fog after midnight tonight, otherwise cloudy, low around 64. Tomorrow, chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 o'clock, about 80 for the high. And a cool, clear Wednesday, highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it is still a cloudy 75 degrees outside our Shelton studio, 69 degrees in Fairfield, 77 in Ridgefield. Coffee break time is 11:30.
Thanks, Don. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we have a lot more news to get to, including an employee of a popular Fairfield restaurant stealing a lot of money, or accused of stealing a lot. So we're going to get to that and a lot more after this.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
Spring is finally in the air and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fishermen, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
You're listening to Hersom Acorn Radio.
Welcome back to your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics on HANradio.com, streaming on the HAN network. John Kovach with Donald Lang, Kate Chaplinsky. Rob Adams will join us with sports in a minute. Kate, budget season just continues to creep along at a glacial pace.
Well, the Stratford Town Council will vote tonight on a $207.1 million spending plan for fiscal year 2015-16. The council's regular meeting begins at 8 o'clock tonight in council chambers in Stratford Town Hall. Mayor John Harkins presented the proposed budget in March. Without any changes, the budget is $2.89 million more than the current year. The plan includes a $99.52 million outlay for Stratford Public Schools. The Harkins proposal is about $2 million less than the Board of Education's request of over $101 million. Parents and teachers have asked the council to restore the original proposal, or there may be cuts in equipment, staffing, and sports, they said. The proposed tax rate will be 36.88 mils, up from the current figure of 35.63 mils, but Harkins has said the recent revaluation of properties means many homeowners will pay less in taxes, with businesses paying more. The proposed budget accounts for the controversial sale of the town's water pollution control plant to the Greater New Haven Water Pollution Control Authority. The sale of the facility and its assets was approved on April 9th. Residents opposed to the sale are expected to speak during the council's public forum, which begins at 6:45 this evening.
Thanks, Kate. That should be quite a lively forum. Melvin Mason will be covering that for the Stratford Star, and I'm certain updating the situation as it unfolds at stratfordstar.com. Follow him on Twitter, too. In other news, a Derby man who allegedly threatened the lives of his former employer and her family was arrested on a warrant May 9th. Milford police said 52-year-old Antonio Negron of Derby was charged with threatening and released on a promise to appear in court June 2nd. Police said the incident occurred last July 20th. They did not release many details about the circumstances, saying only that Negron threatened the life of his former employer and her family.
Thanks, John. Well, an employee at the Brick and Wood restaurant on the Post Road in Fairfield was arrested on a warrant last Thursday, charged with stealing $15,000 from the eatery at the Brickwalk Commercial Complex. 38-year-old Serena Clark of Tierney Street in Norwalk was charged with second-degree larceny. The restaurant's owner called police in February to report the suspected theft, which involved a series of voided transactions between January 29th and February 7th of this year. She had been working at the restaurant for only about 6 weeks at the time. Her bond was set at $15,000, and she is scheduled to appear May 21st at Superior Court in Bridgeport.
Thanks, Kate. Milford police say a Meeting House Lane man will appear in court this morning after they say he hit his wife in the head with a baseball bat, causing a minor injury. Police charged 58-year-old John Tafaro with third-degree assault and disorderly conduct after the incident Saturday afternoon at the couple's home.
Thanks, John. Well, residents in another Connecticut town have found messages reading "White Lives Matter" at their homes. Fairfield Police Lieutenant James Perez says someone delivered the messages to several homes in the Greenfield Hill neighborhood around noon on Saturday. Perez says the messages were written on white paper and placed in plastic bags weighted with small rocks. Fairfield police detectives are investigating. No suspects have been found, and no one so far has claimed responsibility. The same messages in rock-weighted plastic bags have been found over the last 2 weeks in Westport, East Haven, and Milford. The messages first appeared in Connecticut during unrest in Baltimore over the death of Freddie Gray while in police custody. The slogan "Black Lives Matter" has been used around the country in protest of police shootings of black men. Coffee break time is 11:38.
Developer John Geddes has unveiled plans for a 68-unit apartment complex at 223 Canal Street in Shelton, which is the next lot north of the Shelton Avalon complex. The property is 1.26 acres and slopes toward the Housatonic River. The 3.5-story structure would have 47 two-bedroom units, 21 one-bedroom units, a brick facade to match the old industrial concept of the area, Geddes told the Planning and Zoning Commission. There would be 106 parking spaces, some underneath the building, others on the side, with 2 driveway entrances. The property has 180 feet of frontage on Canal Street. Geddes said he would provide an easement to the city of Shelton along the river to extend the river walk. An application has been submitted to the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission for the project, tentatively called River Breeze, with a hearing on the application continuing May 12th, which means additional comment will be accepted then. You can read more at sheltonherald.com.
Thanks, John. Well, the biggest TV entertainment series of the 21st century will end this next year. Fox is officially closing the curtain on American Idol after the upcoming 15th season. Next season will have the same judges as in the last 2 cycles, and those include Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, and Harry Connick Jr., who is a New Canaan resident, along with the show's host, Ryan Seacrest, who has been with the series since the beginning. Fox noted the final season will pay tribute to the previous years of the show. Idol was once dubbed Fox's Death Star, a show so popular it decimated any rival series that dared to air at the same time. At the musical competition's ratings peak in 2006, Idol drew more than an incredible 36 million viewers for its season finale. It's a performance that was all the more impressive given that Fox packing as many as 41 episodes of Idol onto its schedule during the show's relatively brief mid-season run. Yet ratings have fallen nearly every season since Idol's peak. This year, Idol delivered a series low of 11.6 million viewers, and that's including DVR playback. So I'm not really sad to see it go. I don't know about you guys.
It's
I never watched it. Yeah.
It did. It did give us Kelly Clarkson and Clay Aiken. So we really
we owe it
must
quite a debt.
we must forgive them and move on.
And you have local ties to that with current judge Harry Connick Jr., who does a great job. But I think the show's always missed that Simon Cowell character.
Yeah.
You miss the one guy. Every one of these shows has the one guy that plays basically the heel judge and calls it.
We call them the Kovacs.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody, and then you also have the local tie with the singer from Guilford who has a band in Milford that is still involved.
And the best part of that show was the early season egotistical disasters. Those were always the best ones.
That they were. 11:41 on your coffee break. Let's take a look at the roads with Don.
Gotten pretty quiet out on the roads today. According to the DOT, just the most recent things we have here, the road work in Fairfield, 95 south at exit 20, that's Bronson Road. Also in Milford, exit 40, 95 south, that's Woodmont Road, the shoulder closed there. And finally, Fairfield Parkway southbound at exit 44 with a lane closed there. As far as the weather goes, it will clear up today. Partly sunny day expected with a high near 85. Tonight, patchy fog, late, otherwise mostly cloudy, 64. Tomorrow, chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 o'clock, about 80 degrees for the high. And a clear and cool Wednesday, highs in the only getting into the mid-60s. Right now, outside our Shelton studio, it remains cloudy and 76 degrees, 70 in Fairfield, 78 in Ridgefield. Coffee break time is 11:42.
Thanks, Don. We're going to step out. When we come back, we're going to take a look at today's sports schedule, which includes a game here on HANradio.com. You're listening to Coffee Break on HANradio.com, streaming on the HAN network.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors. ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's easy to advertise on HANradio.com. Reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Marianne Hersom at 203-417-5199.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to your coffee break on HANradio.com, streaming on the Hersom Acorn Network. John Kovach with Donna Lane, Kate Chaplinsky, Rob Adams joining us. Rob, we've got Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2 with some big FCAC news that broke during our game Friday, and then we've got baseball this afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be a busy show today in New Canaan at Mead Park. We've got Greenwich and New Canaan, 4 o'clock today, 3:50 pregame show, and Dave Stewart will be on. We'll talk about the lacrosse games from over the weekend. Of course, Darien finally having their long winning streak snapped, and of course being snapped by the Rams of all things. So Dave Stewart will join us to talk about that. We will also talk about the Longmeadow New Canaan girls lacrosse game from Saturday. Claire Barecki will be on as well. She is a Darien high school student. She's going to talk about a story she wrote that is running not only in her newspaper but in the Darien Times about Title IX. So that'll be a good conversation to have with that young lady as well. But Dave will be along for a long stretch as well to talk about the football schedule situation, because we think we've finally reached a little bit of a compromise and kumbaya exists in the FCAC. Let's get to the schedule for today. In baseball, we've got Staples at Danbury. I already told you about Greenwich and New Canaan. Interesting game. Cardinals are trying to stay in the thick of things to get into the States, while New Canaan looks to keep their big season going on. So, and of course, when it's Greenwich, New Canaan, again, it's not quite New Canaan, Darien, but it's not far. St. Joe's and West Hill, Stanford at Norwalk, Central takes on Ward, Harding home for Ludlow, Trinity Catholic at Bassick, Wilton is at Darien. That's a fairly interesting matchup as well, a game that we saw during the scrimmage portion of the season, before the regular season. Those were good teams that we saw. I wouldn't mind seeing that game again as well. So either way, you can't go wrong today. Ridgefield is at Trumbull to finish out the schedule. On the softball side, it's Danbury at Staples, New Canaan at Greenwich, Ridgefield home for Trumbull, Stanford hosts Norwalk, Ward at Central, Harding at Ludlow, Darien is at Wilton, Bassick at Trinity Catholic, and West Hill is at St. Joe's. On to boys lacrosse, Stanford plays Danbury, while New Fairfield travels to play the Brian McMahon Senators. Girls lacrosse, McMahon at Ludlow, Bethel home for Norwalk, St. Joe's at John F. Kennedy Catholic out of Somers, New York, and Darien takes on Longmeadow, Massachusetts all over again, so they make the trip up I-91. Boys track and field, you've got Wilton and Trumbull at Greenwich. Girls track and field, Stanford and Bassick at West Hill. Darien hosts Ridgefield and McMahon. Danbury and Central at St. Joe's. Greenwich and Wilton at Trumbull. Staples and Ludlow at New Canaan. And Ward and Harding are at Norwalk. From boys tennis, Darien at Danbury. New Canaan at Ward. Trinity Catholic at Norwalk. St. Joe's home for Stanford. Wilton at West Hill. Greenwich at McMahon. Ridgefield at Norwalk. Staples is at Central. My goodness, there is so much more. I'll give you tennis, and we'll wrap things up right around there. Danbury at Darien, Ward at New Canaan, Norwalk at Trinity Catholic, Stanford home for St. Joe's, West Hill is at Wilton, McMahon at Greenwich, Ludlow at Ridgefield, and Central is at Staples with dramatic pause. But we've got baseball today right here on HANradio.com. Looking forward to that one, being back on the diamond as we see the Greenwich Cardinals for the first time this year as they take on the New Canaan Rams. So should be a fascinating game down at Mead Park today, 4 o'clock, 3:50 pregame, and Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock as well.
And keep in mind with what we're doing here, if you're someplace where you're home, you're in front of a computer, you can watch the game on our live stream on the Hersom Acorn channel at the NFHSnetwork.com. If you're traveling, you can listen on your smartphone, plug it into the speakers of your car, and get the ball game on the radio on the way home, and then pick it up with the same crew calling the game as soon as you can watch the end of it.
And the thing that you bring up, and that's something that we talked about when we decided to start doing more video, that we would continue to call the games like it's a radio broadcast so that you're still getting the amount of detail so that you can plug it into your car, and it sounds great. I've done it a bunch of times. You plug it in, you listen to it on your car, and it just sounds fantastic. It sounds like roast beef at the Ritz.
And some of us really enjoy listening to a game.
I still do.
I still
do.
If I can find a game, I don't care who it is,
Yep.
I'm going to listen to it.
Yep. I totally agree. I still enjoy listening to a game on the radio. And by the way, we've made it through this entire show and haven't mentioned the New York Rangers once, and I think we just should resolve that right now. They won Game 7.
Game 7 made it interesting.
They will. They will play Game 7. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Coffee break time, just about 11:49.
Thanks, Rob. Senator Richard Blumenthal joined Bridgeport Mayor Bill Finch and hundreds of baseball players and families this weekend to open 3 brand-new baseball fields in the Park City. The new fields resulted from a partnership between the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation, the City of Bridgeport, and the North End Little League. The Cal Ripken Senior Foundation is named after the former professional baseball player and coach, and it partners with communities across America to design and facilitate the creation and construction of world-class baseball facilities. The Bridgeport fields, located at Blackham School, include new dugouts, scoreboards, and backstops. There are 3 ball fields, including an all-inclusive field to accommodate those with special needs. This is the second Cal Ripken Senior Foundation facility in the Park City. In April of 2013, Baseball Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. joined Mayor Bill Finch to cut the ribbon on Napa Auto Parts Field on Ocean Terrace in the West End. And also, Darien, Board of Education there is moving forward with a $4 million fields gift from the Darien Athletic Foundation. That news delivered at a meeting last week about how to handle additional costs related to the project without the taxpayers having to cover that. Members of the foundation's board of directors reassured the Board of Education that the gift will come with an endowment. The Darien Board of Finance will examine how that endowment is set up. The Board of Ed was somewhat on the defensive, according to the Darien Times, as there was another set of questions surrounding that $4 million fields gift. You can read that full story at DarienTimes.com. 11:50 on your coffee break. Kate's got a story. I know she's excited to read.
I was excited about this. Well, a few weeks ago, we talked about how the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection had trained canines to sniff out illegally caught fish.
Right.
And it looks like that has come in handy because a canine with special training in detecting fish demonstrated the value of its new skills Friday evening, leading to charges for fishing violations against 2 Bridgeport men who were out on the Housatonic River in Milford. A Labrador retriever that had just completed training in the detection of illegally caught fish was used by the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection Conservation Police to find 2 striped bass the men had caught that did not meet minimum length requirements, state officials said. As a result, 30-year-old Ronaldo Oliveira of Bridgeport was issued a misdemeanor summons for possession of a short striped bass and was also cited for fishing without a license. He was released on a promise to appear May 21st in Milford Superior Court. And if you're watching us on the HAN network, you can see the great photo of the Labrador with the fish.
Looks like the sunset on the
water.
water.
Oh, it's
It's
beautiful.
a beautiful shot. Looks like it looks like those photos that the fishermen post on Facebook.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Check this out.
Well, I should mention the second fisherman was 60-year-old Eber Macario, also of Bridgeport. He was issued an infraction for fishing without a license, which carries a fine of $87. NCON officers saw the 2 men fishing Friday evening on the Housatonic River in Milford and stopped to conduct a fishing compliance check. The men said they had not caught any fish, but the officers dispatched their specially trained canine, Sadie, who searched the shoreline and indicated a find on a black trash bag tucked in a rocky embankment. An inspection of the bag revealed 2 striped bass that measured only 15 and 19 inches in length. State regulations limit the possession of striped bass to 1 fish per angler at a minimum of 28 inches in an effort to protect the resource. Sadie is one of 3 canines from the NCON Canine Unit that received special training in fish detection to assist in the detection of fishing violations. Interesting because, I mean, obviously, John, you're going to be more of an expert in this, but you would think, oh, maybe these guys didn't know about the regulations, but then it seems like they tried to hide the fish.
That's why they got the dogs. The one at 28 is relatively new. It was a huge fight up and down the East Coast this year. A lot of conservationists, striped bass preservationists, even anglers, wanted one at 32. The states kind of agreed to keep everybody happy, one at 28. 13 and 19, you're not even close. And the unfortunate thing is, yes, those guys are going to get fined. The one guy's got to go to court. Those 2 fish in the picture, you're not bringing them back.
Right. Right.
But this justifies that program that the DEEP through NCON is doing. And hopefully they find more like this, because I know for a fact people are keeping shorts and fishing illegally, freshwater and saltwater.
You know, that sounds like it could be a topic for Yankee Fisherman one of these weeks.
It has been and will be again.
Good.
11:54. We're a little bit late, but let's take one more look at the roads and the weather with Don.
All right, the DOT has just retweeted that that road work on the Parkway South at exit 40B until 3 o'clock today, right lane closed. And also Fairfield 95 South exit 20 until 3, the left lane closed there. Milford 95 South at exit 39A until 3 o'clock today, the left lane closed, and the left lane closed also on the Milford connector between 95 and 15 until 3 o'clock today there. As far as the weather goes, sunny day today, eventually. High near 85, patchy fog tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy, low around 64. Chance of showers and thunderstorms late afternoon tomorrow, about 80. And sunny mid-60s for Wednesday. And now outside our Shelton studio, it has warmed up to a partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, 76 degrees, 70 in Fairfield, 78 in Ridgefield. Coffee break time is 11:54.
Thanks, Don. Well, in other news from the Ridgefield Press, a U.S. District Court judge in New Haven sentenced 2 more hedge fund managers from the Ridgefield-based New Stream Capital LLC for fraud on May 6th and 7th. 63-year-old Bart Gutenkunst, the former manager, partner, and principal of New Stream Capital, was sentenced May 6th to 30 months in prison, but followed by 3 years of supervised release for engaging in a scheme to deceive investors in order to obtain and maintain investments. 43-year-old Richard Pereira of Ridgefield, the firm's chief financial officer, was sentenced on May 7th to 12 months and 1 day of prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release for the same reason. It was the second and third sentencing of a New Stream Capital executive in 2 days. Last Tuesday, David Bryson, 46, was sentenced to 33 months of prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. And there is a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com.
Thanks, Kate. Revisiting a story that we brought you earlier, state police are asking the public for help in finding the person who fired shots at a vehicle on Route 25 North near Exit 2 early Sunday. State police received a report around 1:30 yesterday morning that a 2015 Toyota Corolla had been shot at. The driver of the Corolla did not see any flashes from a firearm, but police say the driver believed gunshots came from a white 4-door sedan, unknown make and model. Troopers were able to confirm that the Corolla had been struck by multiple projectiles. About 5 minutes later, Bridgeport police received a report of gunshots in the area of Ellsworth Street and Fairfield Avenue. State police say it is unknown if the incidents are related. Anyone who locates a silver Toyota hubcap or a 2-inch by 3-inch passenger side mirror with black trim plate or has any information regarding this incident is asked to contact Troop G in Bridgeport at 203-696-2500. Police say all calls will remain confidential. 11:57 on your coffee break.
Thanks, John. Well, this afternoon, we're going to be keeping an eye on a very disturbing story. A total of 7 bodies were found behind a shopping plaza in New Britain, according to police. The police department is planning a news conference later this afternoon to discuss the details. Police said they will release significant information related to the serial murder investigation behind 593 Hartford Road. Investigators originally said they found more skeletal remains April 28th behind the plaza. Police sources now confirm that in addition to the 3 bodies that were found 8 years ago, 4 more have been unearthed. The partial remains of 53-year-old Diane Cusack, 23-year-old Joyveline Martinez, and 40-year-old Mary Jane Menard were identified as the first 3 victims. Police believe one person killed all 3 women in 2003. Sources said they've identified a suspect. Police have not said whether the 4 recently discovered remains are connected to the first 3 victims. They've also been offering a $150,000 reward for any information. The news conference today is scheduled for 4 o'clock.
Thanks, Kate. And we will probably have more on that on tomorrow's coffee break. Stay tuned to HANradio.com and the Hersom Acorn Network. We will have Nutmeg Sports with Rob Adams, Dave Stewart stopping by. at 2 o'clock, and then at 4 we will have baseball, Greenwich at New Canaan from Mead Park. But that's going to do it for our coffee break this morning. For Kate Chaplinsky, Don Eng, Rob Adams, Josh Fisher, AJ Simonowski, our executive producer Marty Hersom, Tracy Iazy. Thanks for listening and watching Coffee Break. We will play ball later on.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in Southwestern Connecticut.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio? You can find us on Twitter at Hersom Radio, on Facebook at Hersom Acorn Radio, or email us at radio@hersomacorn.com.
Conference room when you are Vinny with the broadcast for a taste of the goodies the CIA